All right, so we're here today to show you how the new airbags that we have for engine 2. They just came in, gauge is a little bit different. So what we're gonna do is have Paul take you through it, set up from start to finish. And just represent, that the bags will be sitting on cribbing if we were stabilizing a vehicle, an object, whatever it may be. All right?
All right, so this is the main gauge. It drops the PSI from 4,500 in the bottle down to 120, which is the max bag operating pressure. It simply screws into the port on any SCBA pack bottle.
Now we will have a dedicated bottle for the airbags themselves that the chief's already ordered, and it will be coming in.
All right, so once you attach the regulator to the bottle, slowly open the bottle's valve, and you shall see the large gauge go up to whatever the bottle pressure currently is. So open it nice and slow to not cause damage to the device. And it'll jump up slowly to whatever the bottle is, and then fully open the bottle as always. And then you'll see this gauge jumped up to 150. We do not want it at 150. We'll have to plug something in. Max pressure again on all the bags is 120.
So just to repeat, the max pressure on the bags is 120, and that's what you're gonna set the gauge to. And what Paul's gonna do is he's just gonna release some air out of the gauge itself so that he can get down to that 120.
Now we're under 100. We'll reset it. We can turn it up after we're all connected. So now the hose color does not matter. The green one is shorter, so it's always shown going from the regulator to the actual bag inflating controller. So that's what we'll be using for now. This is how you control inflating the bags. You can stack up to 2 bags at a time, no more than 2. And when bags are stacked, you always inflate the bottom bag first, which is why the hoses are color coded, so you can easily identify which bag to inflate first.
So it's just like the extrication. When anybody that's extricated, we always say on blue or on red. You're basically going to use the same language, for the bags as you inflate. You would just let them know on gray or on red.
And for connecting to any of these fittings, it's quick connect. All you do is push in and then slide up the black collet. It's as simple as that. So now red is the bottom bag. So we're gonna inflate red first. And again, we're gonna reset this gauge to 120. And as you can see, as I slowly turn it, it increases. This gauge increases slowly until we get to 120. That is the maximum PSI for the bags.
So once it's set, it's set.
Yep, once you're set, you're good to go. They do have a purge at 150 at the controller, but obviously we don't.
So it's a pressure relief valve, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes. The controller is simple, so we're gonna inflate red because the bottom first is an up arrow, which is inflate. Down arrow is to deflate. It does inflate pretty quick, so I tap it just to try to get it.
So you just basically feather it.
Yep, so this gauge is gonna go up. We're gonna go to about 30 PSI because that's what we tested the bags at. So we're right about at 30. We can deflate it if we wanted to, and it just slowly releases some air. So we're back up to 30, and then if we wanted to, we could inflate the bag that is now on top. We won't do that now because they're not connected to anything.
Right.
And as you inflate a bag, lifting a car or anything, you always want to have a cribbing stack and have someone who's calling for more air on gray to slowly feed in a wedge, just in case the bag pops, something shifts, it'll catch and not fall all the way back to the ground, re-crushing someone. And then once you get all the way here, you add another layer of cribbing, so you could.
So what Paul's saying is, if you imagine as there would be a vehicle or an object on top of where he's working, and as the bags increase, he would be jamming in more wedges and more cribbing to make up for that, so that in case there was a sudden release of the bags, you would still have it stabilized to that level.
That's pretty much it. To release the pressure in the bag, you just come back to the controller. We're gonna release the pressure on red, so you just hold the down arrow. It'll take a while, they take a lot of air, but that's just how you slowly and controlled release the air. They tell you not to disconnect it right at the airbag, because it'll come out too quick and could cause damage.
Okay.
So always just slowly release the air from the controller. And then breakdown's just as simple. All the fittings, you slide the collar forward and then slide the silver one forward to release it, and they'll all just pop up.
And that's basically it. But we just want to make sure that all the members, both full-time and call, were able to view this. We're going to leave these out in the apparatus bay for anybody who wants to come in and use them. They can use this video as a reference to, practice with them. Thank you.